Fans, please stand if you are able and remove your hats for the national anthem performed by Edgewater Castle's very own Lauren Hall.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight?
All right, I'm trying to figure out the numbers. Somebody's wearing, I've got a away team too, so we're good. Somebody's wearing 29 though, so that's a mystery.
Bright stars through the
Good afternoon and welcome to this Edgewater Castle FC doubleheader presented by Acorns. here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page. The men lead off today from the Midwest Premier League as the Rooks host Chicago City Dutch Lions. Thanks for joining us on what is an absolutely spectacular summer Saturday here on the north side in Rogers Park at Loyola Soccer Complex at Hoyne Fields. I'm Alex Campbell. The Rooks needing to win out to give themselves an outside chance at promotion. It's not gone yet. Chicago City Dutch Lions in search of their first victory of the season. You'll see the Rooks are in their special Acorns Day shirts today with the dark green and light green vertical stripes and the centered Edgewater Castle crest on the front above the Acorns logo. Lineup-wise, the lineup you would have just heard me read over the PA. Probably got a couple numbers wrong there due to the new jerseys today, but we will do our best with that. Likewise, with Chicago City Dutch Lions, who we have names and numbers for, but unfortunately not much else. And we are underway here in Chicago. Chicago City Dutch Lions in all orange with their goalkeeper Roberto Romanelli in the blue top. Edgewater Castle, of course, in those Acorns Day kits, all green vertical stripes. Aiden Crawford is sporting the normal Edgewater Castle home kit in goal. Tangling in midfield are the Rooks there. Lalo Aguilera finding Murtada Camille. Trying to bring that down. We're not sure who's wearing 23, but we will, by process of elimination, do our best. This is Rafael Santos wearing 21. That is Aguilera's usual number, but the captain's armband and his positioning telling me that that is, in fact, Lalo. It's a center back pairing of Kanzak and Vimmer today for Edgewater Castle. Rui Reich working on the far side. As this is played all the way back for Aiden Crawford. Long over the top. Murtada Camille trying to track this down. Romanelli will do the safe thing and head it out of play. Amir Abdullah looks to be wearing number 6 today. On the ball now, mostly plays center back for this team. This is a pretty defensive lineup for Edgewater Castle today in terms of just the what you would list the players as on the team sheet. Under some pressure there was Jason Santos, but cleared away by the goalkeeper Romanelli. This is number 15, Ivan Garcia. One of 3 Garcias in the 18 today for Chicago City Dutch Lions. Enzo Degatti putting the pressure on Jason Santos, who has to keep this in, but that rolled out of bounds, and it'll be a corner. Degatti swinging this into the far post. That ball's off the post. It was Wimmer who made the contact. And Toby Wimmer, don't know how much he ended up knowing about it in the end, but just could not quite direct that on goal. Out for a corner on the other side. Reich over to take this. Curved in. Header flicked on into the back of the net. It's Amir Abdullah with the goal. And an early lead for the Rooks here in the 4th minute. Goal for the Rooks, scored by number 6 from Loyola, Amir Abdullah. So an early strike for the Rooks. The goal for Abdullah, the assist to Rui Reich. Played all the way back. Camille settling this one, and Reich going on. Poked forward into the feet of the number 10. That's Faustine Itabello. Rooks have it back, though. Degatti, Camille, Murtada Camille, edge of the area. Knocked off his foot there by Charlie Ames. Rooks win it right back, though. Comes through for Chicago City Dutch Lions to set up. If that name sounds like a bit of a mouthful, it's due to a merger that occurred between Chicago Dutch Lions and Chicago City over the past school year, time of year, I guess you would say. It's a bit confusing. Their men's first team still competes just as Chicago Dutch Lions in USL2 where they were. And this is effectively the Chicago City team that would have been playing in this league last year. They also had two teams. So it's, again, I'm assuming the naming conventions will make more sense as we go on in the coming years and they kind of sort out what the club structure is. This is back for Aiden Crawford in the Edgewater Castle goal. It's another hot one today. Not quite as brutal as last week, but still quite warm. Vimmer here for Abdullah. And Amir driving this ball forward. Ames having to deal with this by himself. Was he fouled? No, as Reich got a foot in. And trying to turn there was Lalo Aguilera, wearing 14 today. Out to the right back, Capel. Trying to push forward there was the striker, Zabirov. Sent long here by Vimmer. Header won by Marlon Garcia, but Enzo Degatti under no pressure. Enzo, the lone goal scorer last week in the win against Strikers Fox Valley. Here is Degatti, a round one defender. Enzo into the area. Enzo has a go. Comes up for Tercios. Lalo Aguilera just over the top. Lalo, who's had himself an excellent season for this Rooks team, just could not quite keep that shot down. Rooks almost playing a front four here. Lalo, more or less a central midfielder in the lineup today, but him and Rui Reich are interchanging in those far left and inside left channels. Marlon Garcia looking out to the far right wing is trying to settle this. Is Krushke. Through the middle, Murtada Camille is in on goal and drags it just wide. Immediately hands to the forehead. The Rooks have had a couple grade A chances here. They've put one away on a great flicked header off a corner kick if you joined us late in the 4th minute from Amir Abdullah. I maybe have been remiss not to mention to this point, Chicago City Dutch Lions have played 5 games this season. They've scored 1 goal. That was in their last game. They've conceded 27. Still a long time to go here in the Midwest Premier League season. Most of the women's leagues are wrapping up here over the next week or so. as both the UWS and WPSL in the area have playoff systems that are national, and so the rest of the summer is reserved for those leagues to go through those stages. USL2 on the men's side and USLW on the women's are also like that. Rui Reich on the far side. Here is the Portuguese winger. Reich, nice outside of the boot flick, but Murtada Camille won't get there ahead of Romanelli. Midwest Premier League, by contrast, they are only concerned really with themselves. There is a postseason of sorts, but it's a little more abbreviated, and of course, based on the designation Midwest, it's a little more local, so travel concerns and making sure you allot time for that are a little less important. Aguilera trusts that down for Tercios. Tercios over the top for Murtada Camille. The flag is up. The ball is wide anyway. First time we've seen Daryl Tercios at home this season. Rising junior at UIC from Independence, Kentucky. Has started 15 games each of his first 2 years for the Flames, down in Little Italy on the near southwest side of Chicago. Santos. Given away again, Abdullah couldn't keep it. But then losing out was Itabello. Here goes Murtada Camille. Flag is down. Murtada! 2-0. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 11th minute by number 9, Murtada Camille. Murtada's had his chances early. He makes that one count. I believe that is actually his first goal in the Midwest Premier League this season. Murtada's been a monster in the state and national cup games, including getting a couple goals the other night in a 7-0 win for Edgewater Castle, a record for the men's team to win by a 7-goal margin. He gets his first, though, of the summer in the Midwest Premier League here, and that's really a big milestone for a guy who's one of the longest tenured members still on this Edgewater Castle FC team. 2-0 Rooks in the 12th minute here, and they are in cruise control. Haven't even had to press that much without the ball. Chicago City Dutch Lions have been all too willing to concede possession. Here's the captain, Santos. Degatti sporting that all-blonde dye job. Camille, first-time flick. Abdullah forward from defensive midfield. He's taking advantage of positional freedom today. Camille couldn't quite get over that one. Most of this season, Amir Abdullah has been playing center back alongside Quentin Benedetto for this Edgewater Castle team that had, at least for a while, been Doigu Erdogan's preferred center back pairing. Must be due to availability today, though, that able to switch it up. We've seen Nick Kanzak play lots of minutes off the bench this season, and Toby Vimmer is the longest tenured member of this current Edgewater Castle FC squad, if I'm not mistaken, just edging out the likes of Murtada Camille, who's right up there with him. Actually, correction, Murtada is right up there. Murtada is an ECFC original. My apologies to his reputation. Been around the club since as early as 2018. Vimmer didn't join the club until 2021. So Murtada is, in fact, the longest tenured current member of this squad. Vimmer, Santos, Cardano, some other names that have been around for a long time. Ames, pressured by Camille. Taken away there by Cardano. Tangling with Krushke. And Kanzak will play it back to Aiden Crawford. Aiden making his 4th start of the Midwest Premier League season. Has conceded 5 goals and has 1 clean sheet. Last weekend's 1-0 win for the Rooks at Strikers Fox Valley saw Joey Galante get his first clean sheet of the summer and his first win. Long ball played in the direction of Abdullah. Tries to flick that in Camille's vicinity, but not quite. Down the near side, this is Martinez. Samuel Martinez. Could not find Marlon Garcia. Toby Vimmer showing some composure on the ball. Into the feet of Tercios. Darrell able to turn, pulled back. Referee plays advantage rather than showing the yellow card just yet. This is to the middle, and Ames does enough. So the referee will have something to come back to there. I think it was Ivan Garcia who had a full arm around Darrell Tercios. Santos. Tercios. Cardano on the underlap. Lalo Aguilera will chase this down on the far side. Lalo just trying to force his way past. Couldn't quite. As dealing with this is Capel. But giving it away. Cardano. Cardano tries to just hit that off the defender. Didn't quite work. Flicks it into the penalty area. Ames. Down for Capel, who does clear. But into the bench, and now the referee... Guess he's not going to go back and give that yellow card. So Ivan Garcia dodges punishment for now, perhaps on account of the fact that there was so much time between the foul and the next stoppage. Rui Reich, look at that interchange with Tercios. Couldn't quite pull it off. And now here is Thompson for Chicago City Dutch Lions, but that's going to be way ahead of his teammates. And Aiden Crawford over to just send this down into the near corner. Reich on the pressure here against Marlon Garcia. Santos. Santos couldn't find a teammate. He only found Santos. Here's Murtada Camille. Good step there by Ames. As Chicago City Dutch Lions prepare their first change. Big collision there and a free kick for the Rooks. And we are going to see this change. We'll take a look to see. It's going to be Thompson going off. And he's going to hand over an armband as well to the new player. We'll see if we can get a look at the back of this jersey to let you know who has entered the match for Chicago City Dutch Lions. It's number 18. That is Joey Aragoni. Substitution for Chicago City Dutch Lions. Leaving the match, number 7, Ian Thompson. Replaced by number 18, Joey Aragoni. Cardano. Down the far side. Gets his cross away, but it's scooped up in the end by Romanelli. Didn't get the Chicago City lineup till right before the game. Hold on. Murtada Camille, the back heel to the middle. Given right away again. Reich. Tercios. Aguilera, first time, didn't catch it. I was going to say, during halftime, I'll do my best to research up a bit on these Chicago City Dutch Lions players. Given that this is the club's second team, a little harder to find information on them than some other teams. Marlon Garcia getting forward. DeGotti laying that off for Santos. Or Crawford asking for some help before sending it long. Camille couldn't win it as it was flicked backwards by Santos. Ames. This will roll long. On the chase there was number 9, Reese Krushke, cleared away by Crawford. Quick rundown of the teams formation-wise as Dutch Lions get ready, it looks like, for another change or two. Roberto Romanelli in goal. The back four from right to left is number 21, Noah Capel, number 20, Charlie Ames, number 3, Jason Santos, and number 12, Marlon Garcia. The defensive midfield double pivot was Ian Thompson, who's now been replaced by Joey Aragoni, and number 15, Ivan Garcia. As the Rooks take this away, Camille won't get there ahead of Ames. On the right wing is number 9, Reese Krushke. The number 10 is number 10, Faustine Itabello. Left wing is number 19, Samuel Martinez. And the striker is number 11, Islam Zabirov. For the Rooks, Aiden Crawford is in goal. It is Santos, Kanzak, Vimmer, and Cardano across the back line. Abdullah in defensive midfield with Aguilera and Tercios ahead of him. Reich on the left, Degatti on the right, and Murtada Camille leads the line. Kanzak, Abdullah, Tercios for Cardano. Chicago City Dutch Lions have found a bit of energy over the last few minutes. Rooks going at a more deliberate pace as they attack, and that was late. And I think it's Rui Reich who's been caught. Free kick opportunity upcoming for Edgewater Castle. And it's going to be a change first. For Chicago City, whenever the referee notices, he waves and we'll see who's leaving. No one moving yet for Chicago City Dutch Lions, but someone's got to come out of the match. And still, ref is asking, hey, someone gonna leave? And it is going to be Noah Capel who comes out, the right back. And we'll check that sub when we can. Chipped into the area by Reich, headed away. Only as far though as Degatti. Santos playing it right back today, though normally at left back for the Rooks. That sub is number 16. That's Matias Zagora. Substitution for Chicago City Dutch Lions, leaving the match, number 21, Noah Capel, replaced by number 16, Matias Zagora. Cardano, giving and going with Aguilera. Reich, back for Cardano. Rooks looking so confident today in possession. Approaching the midway point of the first half, goals in the 4th and 11th minutes from Amir Abdullah and Murtada Camille, respectively, have the Rooks 2 to the good. That's given away by Abdullah and a chance to turn for Itabello. But look at the defensive work rate from Reich to win it back. And Crawford throws a sand wedge into that one. It's got some backspin. Camille could go for this. And lucky in the end for Romanelli that ball, as they both went for it, fell right back into his lap. Camille gives him a wave. That was a good 50-50 challenge and a good job by the referee to let the play go on. Definitely too often in those scenarios we see a whistle blown when neither player did anything wrong. Romanelli launching this toward the far side. Cardano brings that down in front of Krushke. And look at that move. Lalo Aguilera just sent 2 orange shirts running right past the ball. The next goal conceded by Chicago City would be their 30th in their 6th game. Rafa Santos, Murtada Camille. Taken off the ball there by Jason Santos of Dutch Lions. Loose touch there from Martinez, Abdullah, Tercios, Degatti. Reich, Tercios. That was a well-timed ball. Camille had made the run. Turned right back over, Enzo Degatti. Degatti, chipping it through. Too much on the pass. Gives a wave of apology in the direction of Daryl Tercios. Another giveaway on a poor touch. Reich. Rui Reich has options both sides. Murtada Camille again. Saved by Romanelli. It's a corner. Good goalkeeping by the Dutch Lions, number 1. Last time the Rooks had a corner from this side, and it was taken by Reich. Abdullah flicked it home. That was acrobatic by whoever just climbed the fence. Reich, high curler this time. Down in the box, cleared in the air by Martinez. Aguilera first time for Degatti. Enzo runs this down. The nutmeg, but he won't get to the second touch. It comes off him last. Well defended in the meantime by Dutch Lions. As I suspected, that was Gabe Masalu, Edgewater Castle center back emeritus, who was treating the border fence of the field like a jungle gym. Clearly knows how to fall, too. Camille to the middle, the header. Lalo Aguilera couldn't quite steer that on target. But the shots just keep coming for the Rooks. Aiden Crawford at the other end of the pitch, yet to use his hands today. Lalo getting in the way of that ball. Back to help is Ivan Garcia. Camille put a foot in. Throw in for the Rooks. Camille chesting that down. Lalo couldn't quite get there. Abdullah. Reich. Working back there was Itabello. Out again for a Rooks throw. I think you could count on one hand the number of touches Zabarov, the striker, has had for Dutch Lions so far today. Not many more for the trio of attacking midfielders behind him. Looks like they're preparing a couple more subs, maybe 2 or 3 or even 4 players getting ready to enter. They have 6 outfield players on the bench today. We have seen, we got a bird, maybe an injured bird on the field. Toby Vimmer doing his best chicken impression. So it looks like we'll be seeing all 4 remaining outfield subs for Dutch Lions at the next opportunity. Abdullah, Degatti. Came right back off end zone again. Good persistence though by Marlon Garcia. Martinez. Blocked. And here go the Rooks the other way. Lalo not quite on the same page with Camille. Marlon Garcia chipping this to the far side. Long run here onto it is Krushke. His cross is overcooked. Martinez, though, will run it down on the near side. Martinez, Itabello into the area. Itabello, cross blocked by Kanzak and away by Degatti. Murtada. Camille. That's a great ball. Here goes Rui Reich. Reich is in on goal. Rui Reich for Edgewater Castle. Reich! 3-0. What a counterattack. The first time we'd really seen Dutch Lions get forward at all, and they are punished by the Portuguese winger. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 29th minute by number 29, Rui Reich. The assist to number 9, Murtada Camille. Camille and Reich now each with a goal and an assist. The subs are going to be the entire front three plus Ivan Garcia, it looks like. So we'll have to figure out where everyone is now playing, but we do know who all the players are, so we'll get to that. Great finish there by Rui Reich, the UIC attacker, and Murtada Camille with some fantastic hold-up play to make it happen. Substitutions for Chicago City Dutch Lions. Leaving the match, number 15, Ivan Garcia, number 19, Samuel Martinez, number 11, Islam Zabirov, and number 9, Reese Krushke. Entering the match, number 8, Christian Garcia, number 23, Isaac Job, number 2, Gustavo Sandoval, and number 17, Peter Blankson. So we have now seen all the outfield players available today for Chicago City. And they've changed up the formation, it looks like, as well, as that was sent forward from center back by Sandoval. And big challenge put in there by Nick Kanzak. To Gotti. That's given away. Two players now who have been sub, Zagora, who just moved back, and now Sandoval have gone into the back three alongside Ames. Trying to see where that means everybody else went. Blankson, 17, is on the left wing. Job, number 23, is the new striker. Aragoni is now playing, I guess, as a central midfielder alongside Santos, who's moved up. So now for Dutch Lions, it's Romanelli in goal. The back four from right to left is Zagora, Sandoval, Ames, and Marlon Garcia. As Sandoval runs that down, here is Marlon Garcia. Midfield pivot is Santos, who stepped up from center back alongside Aragoni. Itabello remains the number 10. Blankson is on the left wing. Christian Garcia on the right wing. And Isaac Job through the middle in attack. Rooks are preparing their first sub of the day here at 3-0. Tercios, Camille, just too far for Degatti, but the attack's still in progress. Enzo, into the middle. Tercios, Daryl, still Tercios. Reich hit it off the tee, and the UIC teammates hug it out, getting in each other's way there a bit. Don't know who all is on the Edgewater bench today, but the person coming in is wearing number 3, which is usually Abdullah's number. So we'll see what the deal is with that. Well, that's crafty from Romanelli. Itabello. Back here for Kanzak. And now Crawford. Cardano. Back out wide for Reich. Challenge put in, but it didn't get any of the ball or the man. Reich, Cardano. Cardano has a go! Pulled it wide. Goal kick. And we have a sub for Edgewater. Trying to figure out who's coming in. It's Murtada Camille going out, so my best guess is it's going to be William Auchimpong, but we will double check that with the bench. Yeah, I can't tell who that is from up here. Into the middle, trying to get a touch. That was Job. In behind, here goes Tercios. Tercios, is that a penalty? Sure looked like it. Referee says he went down too easily. Trying to dribble out of trouble here is Aragoni. Here is that striker, number 3. Whoever he is, well, he just scored. So hopefully in the coming seconds we can figure out who that is because they just scored a goal. Edgewater Castle with just shy of 10 minutes to go until the interval. Edgewater preparing a sub. It's going to be Enzo DeGotti going off. And we'll see if we can figure out who that is. Somebody wearing 22. So we might also need to ask down there, figure out if we can see who that is as well, because we didn't get a list of the bench before the game. Throw in for Chicago City on the far side. Hopefully Enzo DeGotti's okay. We saw him sit down before he came off for that substitution. Abdullah. Back for Crawford. So being told number 3 is Kudus Luwal making his Edgewater Castle debut. Was not on the roster, or at least not to my knowledge. So welcome to Edgewater Castle, Kudus Luwal. already with a goal. And he's looking for another one. And number 22 shoots over. Until 22 is Vidar Riedel of North Park. The goal scored for Edgewater Castle in the 36th minute was by number 3, Kudus Lual. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, replacing number 11, Enzo Degatti, is number 22, Vidar Riedel. Launched long by Ames. And quickly restarted here with Santos. Riedel. Vidar Riedel, rising junior at North Park. Bit of a Swiss Army knife of a player. Riedel from Varberg, Sweden. Cardano looking for the run wide of Reich. He's got options in the middle. Rui Reich. Reich all the way. Fumbled and then gathered by Romanelli. We're going to get going quickly, Dutch Lions. It's kept in well by Aragoni. Five minutes plus stoppage time to go until the half. 4-0 for the Rooks. Abdullah, Camille, Reich, and Lawal with the goals. Flick to the middle there. Blankson couldn't get there ahead of Riedel. Still Vidar. Lawal ran into some trouble. Reich. Riedel. Tercios. Reich able to turn. Just staring at a pile of 8 orange shirts. 9, actually, were all there gathered around the ball. There's Blankson. Trying to play that for the run of Job. Marlon Garcia. Just runs right into Rafa Santos. Be a throw in here for the visitors. And it's a situation where I'm sure the aim for these guys on this particular Dutch Lions squad is to be members of that USL 2 team. It's hard, though, to make a big impression when the league games are all going as they have. Here's Blankson, wanted to shoot first time, and just slipped on the turf. Aiden Crawford over to prevent a stoppage in play. It would have just been a goal kick, and he figured he would just keep it in. Of course, this is the first game of a doubleheader today. 4 p.m. kickoff scheduled for Edgewater Castle women undefeated in UWS play, taking on second place Crystal Lake Force. And flag is up here against Lawal. Fans, visit our Castle Florist Helpful Hummingbird next to the merch tent to purchase special Acorns Day carnations. Hold on to them until the end of the match so you can shower our players with flowers. And Edgewater's going to make a change here. Lalo Aguilera is going to get a break. And we'll see who's coming in for him. Tercios just getting a drink of water in the meantime. See if we can get eyes on the new player. whoever they are, they're wearing 16. Which might be Gino Miranda. He's normally 16. Getting confirmation that is indeed Gino Miranda. Here's Amir Abdullah, chance to look forward. Riedel. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, replacing number 14, Lalo Aguilera. Number 16, Gino Miranda. Miranda, a Washington State native originally. Santos. Riedel. Abdullah got a touch back, couldn't carry it forward. And Riedel wins it back. Miranda got a bump from Aragoni. Reich, Abdullah. Reich couldn't connect a pass there. And then a free kick for Chicago City Dutch Lions, as hitting the turf was Faustini Tabello. And the referee blows right on halftime, despite the 4 goals. Just an absolutely one-sided opening half. And at the break, it's Edgewater 4, Chicago City Dutch Lions 0. Fans at halftime, the score: Chicago City Dutch Lions 0, your Edgewater Castle FC Rooks 4.
Acorns makes it easy to start investing for you, your kids, and your retirement. Now they want to make it easy to make it to Edgewater Castle FC matches. Get 2025 season tickets when you sign up and start investing today at acorns.com/ECFC.
Second half about to get underway here at Loyola, where Edgewater Castle hold a 4-0 lead. Heading into the second half, I'm Alex Campbell. Thanks for joining us here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page today. The goals so far from Amir Abdullah, Murtada Kamil, Rui Reich, and Kudas Lawal. We'll figure out who all is playing where at the start of this second half. I do see we have a change in goal for Chicago City Dutch Lions as Andres Vialva is between the sticks now. Vimmer. Abdullah getting forward. Outside Cardano, the left back, into the attack. Cardano pulled it back, and that's out for the second half's first corner kick. Looks like Dutch Lions are going to go with a front two in this second half, and I don't blame them given the score line. And we'll go through the lineups as soon as we know who's all where. This is swung in over everybody, and that's going to bounce all the way through and out for a throw-in on the far side. For Edgewater Castle, it's Crawford in goal, Santos, Kanzak, Vimmer, and Cardano, the back four. Abdullah, Tercios, and Reich in midfield. Riedel on the right wing, Miranda on the left, and Lawal up top. Given away, here's Reich. Tried to find a teammate and couldn't quite, as turning out of pressure is Aragoni. Rooks on the attack again, Riedel. Facing three orange shirts there, will recycle. Reich trying to work it onto his right foot. Abdullah back for Reich. Dispossessed. Trying to get out of trouble there is Ivan Garcia. Now Sandoval. And here comes Blankson trying to play this for Zaharov, who's held off by Vimmer. Sliced into the air by Crawford. Santos. Keeps it in play. And it's going to go out for a goal kick. Rooks playing out for the back here. Vimmer. Out for Santos, who won't keep it in. Throw and given away. So it's looks like a 3-5-2 now for the visitors. A pretty attacking one at that. Rooks looking to counter. Ames just got enough of that to press it on for Marlon Garcia. Is that a free kick? It is. Still just trying to figure out what the midfield arrangement is here for Dutch Lions. So it looks like it's Vialva now in goal, a back three of Marlon Garcia, Ames, and Sandoval. Midfield pivot, Aragoni and Ivan Garcia. Right wing back, Kappel. Left wing back, really just left wing, Blankson. Attacking midfield, Samuel Martinez with Zabirov, and Job, the front two. Credit to Dutch Lions for going for it. Edgewater with a 4-0 lead. That won't stay in play. It'll be a throw-in for the visitors on the far side. Tercios and Riedel back for Santos. A lot more defensive possession here to start this second half for the Rooks. Crawford, that's given away. Cardano, though, and Abdullah able to clean up. Reich. Rui spinning and finding Cardano. Miranda. Gino Miranda cutting inside. Miranda looked for the reverse pass, now has a go himself. And Villalba fumbled and recovered. Martinez tried to flick that on. Abdullah took a swing and it just bounced off a player in an orange jersey. Crawford. Crawford sheds a challenge. That's out for a throw-in. Vimmer, Abdullah. Kanzak shakes a challenge. Riedel. Reich, all the way out near side for Miranda. Cardano into the attack. Cardano shoulder to shoulder there with Sandoval. That ball's not going to run out. Cardano won it back. Cardano to the middle. And trying to contort himself was Lawal. Not quite. No goals scored yet here in the second half. Rooks up 4-0 at the break. Cardano chipping it for Lawal. Heads it down. Lawal has time and pulls it wide. Villalba was stuck in no man's land, and the assistant's flag stayed down on the far side as Lawal looked for a second goal of the game in what is, as far as we know, his Edgewater Castle debut. During halftime, quite a list of teams that Kudus Lawal has played for. Went to Mather High School here in Chicago for a couple of years and led them to a state championship, becoming the first team in 37 years for a Chicago public school to win a state soccer title. And it was his first year of school in the United States. He's a native of Nigeria, and so he certainly made an instant impact on the Chicago high school soccer scene, as Vimmer will try to see this run out of play, and he will. Good job there by Toby Vimmer. And then from there, he ended up playing for Sounders 2, played 10 games for Seattle Sounders B team before playing for the Wilmington Hammerheads, then back here at home with Chicago FC United and RWB Adria. Bounced around the indoor scene a bit with St. Louis Ambush and also fairly recently Milwaukee Wave. Most recently was with the Central Valley Fuego of USL League One in the 2023 and 2024 seasons, where he made 12 appearances and scored 3 goals, but now back here in his adoptive home city of Chicago and having joined up with the Rooks. Look forward to hopefully him scoring several goals the remainder of the season. Also gives the Rooks a more like-for-like option to come in from Murtada Camille, who's kind of the only true target 9 on the roster. Here's Rui Reich. Reich skipping through. Still Rui Reich. Look to get that ahead toward Tercios. And getting into some trouble there's Wimmer. Flag goes up against the attacker. That's Job, who then went shoulder to shoulder with Wimmer. Get a reminder, this is game one of a doubleheader. We've got Edgewater Castle women taking on Crystal Lake Force. That's at 4 p.m. You'll have to switch over the stream, but you can also watch that right here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page. As the Edgewater Castle women look to stay perfect. Long ball off the kick from Crawford. Here's Vida Riedel. The assist to Aiden Crawford as Vida Riedel hammers that home for 5-0. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 55th minute by number 22, Vida Riedel. And the assist to the goalkeeper, number 0, Aiden Crawford. First time we've seen that this season. So Aiden Crawford gets himself an assist on just a long direct ball. Riedel did well to bring that down, settled himself, and just hammered it into the back of the net. 5-0. And again, we don't know much details about the Chicago City Dutch Lions team, but I can't say that Mr. Villalba now in goal is the tallest of goalkeepers. Here they come again. Miranda into the area. Villalba slides and makes the save. I think that was actually Amir Abdullah getting forward who got the shot away, looking for his second goal today. It'll be a corner kick. A note on that women's game later, those two teams played each other in Edgewater's first game of the season. The Rooks won 6-1. However, Crystal Lake Force have not lost since that game and find themselves 4-1-1 and in second place in the division. Tercios into the middle. Keeper fumbled and got it back. Aiden Crawford, quite a goalkeeper stat line he's got right now. He has 0 saves made, but does have an assist. It's been that kind of day for Edgewater Castle, leading 5-0 here with less than an hour played. And a lot of the guys on the pitch right now for Edgewater Castle are guys who subbed in, and we'll see how Doigu Erdogan wants to utilize her squad. That ball left short, and a chance here for Jason Santos to get forward. Must have missed where he was on the pitch, or a sub might have been made there. I think that's what happened. Santos has come into the match, and see if we can figure out who he came in for. This is going to be a free kick as the wall was cut down. Looks like, as far as I can tell, I think Aragoni, he's at least not in the same position anymore. So let's double check if he's out there. I don't think he is. Miranda. Reich. Reich out wide. Here's Cardano. Lots of options in the middle. Back for Reich. Rui. Ooh, that's a clear foul and might be a card as well. Free kick for Edgewater Castle in a very dangerous position. Reich looks to be all right. And now all sorts of players interested in this. Miranda's got the ball down. Riedel there as well. Reich was floating around as well. Also, shout out to the staffs of both the women's teams later, Crystal Lake Forest and Edgewater Castle. We're almost 2 hours from kickoff. We have starting lineups and full rosters submitted already. Gina Miranda to take right into the wall. Trying to turn out a pressure here is Noah Capel. And in the end, it's a Rooks throw. Santos. Seen Rui Reich drop really deep at times today as well. Really versatile player. Cardano. Reich. Reich no longer the newest addition to this Edgewater Castle squad. But both he and Kudus Lawal have goals today. Lawal on the run here. Closed down by a couple of defenders. Lawal eventually had it taken away by Sandoval, who does well to boot this away. Vimmer will get there first. Crawford an option to drop it to. Vimmer. Still no subs made by Edgewater Castle in this second half. Miranda. Lawal. Daryl Tercios, lots of room. Rafa Santos, the captain. Riedel. The North Park Viking. Riedel crossing. Lawal taking his time and scoring. It's 6. It's 2 for the new man. Perfect summer afternoon on Acorns Day for Edgewater Castle. Goal for the Rooks in the 62nd minute. His second of the game, scored by number 3, Kudus Lawal. The assist to number 22, Vidar Riedel. Rooks have made it look easy today. And what a home debut for Kudus Lawal. Feeling right at home here on the north side of Chicago. And a tough day at the office for Chicago City Dutch Lions, who now at this point have conceded 33 goals in 6 games. Well, not even 6 games yet. It might get worse. Tercios, Miranda. Not really even many subs warming up for Edgewater Castle. I think the guys on the bench who are sitting in the shade want to just stay there, and I don't blame them. Cardano, Tercios, Abdullah. Santos with space. Rui. Accelerating right down the gut. Here is Roberto Cardano. Back for Reich. It's a good step there by Sandoval. Given away, though, to Daryl Tercios. Too bad we don't keep pass completion or possession stats in the Midwest Premier League, because they would both be pretty outstanding right now for the Rooks. Another nice give and go. Miranda, hassled there by Ames. Riedel popping up in central midfield. Why not? Cardano playing it through. Tercios tried to flick it. Couldn't do so. Working to win it back. He does. Rui Reich to the end line. Reich, nice touch, trying to go around Sandoval. Still Reich. Still Rui Reich. And it's a free kick for Chicago City Dutch Lions. And some afters there between Reich and I'm not sure who that is of Chicago City Dutch Lions, but a disagreement there. think it was Samuel Martinez. Zabirov tried to run that down. Been a pretty barren day for the visiting striker. Well, here he is. Zabirov plays that through. Didn't get it back, though. Pinballing around as Vimmer wins the header. Miranda forced off of it by Ivan Garcia. This is the longest the ball has been in this end of the field this half. Speculative shot from distance. That is the first shot on target of the day for Chicago City Dutch Lions, and the first save, an easy one in the end for Aiden Crawford. Lawal. Still Lawal. It's pulled back there. Sound of all the foul, and the Rooks will get going quickly. Amir Abdullah. Miranda. That's another free kick. Just frustration understandably building here for the visitors. Rui Reich. Reich, the spin. Reich, the shot. Saved by Villalba. That would have been something. Martinez. Again given away. And that's another free kick. This time it's Blankson, the guilty party. And the Rooks going quickly again. Here's Vito Riedel. Still no sign of subs for either team. Cardano. Lawal. Back for Cardano. Cardano around the corner. Cardano cutting back. Roberto Cardano tried to tee it up for Riedel, who gives him the thumbs up for the idea, but it was cut out by Villalba. Capel just puts that off the face of Cardano, shakes it off, and it ends up being a pass for Gino Miranda. Here goes Miranda. Riedel. Tercios. Reich. Rui. The Rabona couldn't quite connect with Tercios. He's turning on the style now, the Portuguese winger and midfielder. Again, the Rooks win it right back. Cardano. Reich. Hard to pick a man of the match with the scoreboard. I mean, Lawal, on as a sub, has scored 2 goals, but I think if I had to pick a player at this point, it would be Rui Reich. He's got a goal and an assist, as does Murtada Camille, but Reich has played as many minutes as anybody out there today. Pace of this game just kind of slowing to a crawl at times. It's warm. Everybody, I imagine, is pretty tired. The field temperature on this turf is probably pushing 100 degrees. And it's a 6-goal margin of the game. So not a whole lot of doubt on that front. Zabirov. Islam Zabirov facing up Cardano. And ran into Abdullah. Capel the throw. And there was a sub for Dutch Lions, and the referee didn't see it. Rooks are going to make a couple changes, 2 or 3 maybe as well. So it's going to be Faustini Tabello coming back into the match. And he's going to replace the right wing back Capel. So this is going to be an even more attacking team than it already was. And then the Rooks look like they have 2 or 3 subs on the way. Substitution for Chicago City Dutch Lions. Leaving the match, number 21, Noah Capel, replaced by number 10, Faustine Itabello. So Itabello comes in. Santos is going to come out to this right wing back position, and Itabello is going to go into the front three. Dutch Lions have been shut out in every game until their last one where they got their first goal of the season, so they're looking for, I'd imagine, kind of a similar consolation at this point. Looks like the Rooks are preparing a triple change. Vimmer with room to move. Cardano. Miranda. Abdullah. Hopefully the players coming in for Edgewater are players we've seen already today, and if not, well, we'll figure it out. We figured out everybody else eventually. Reich, dispossessed. Cardano tried to throw in a shoulder there, and eventually it comes for Abdullah. Zabirov looking for Job. And Crawford eventually scoops up and finds Rafa Santos. Might just be 2 subs for now for the Rooks. Looked like it might be 3, but there's 2 guys ready to check in. Crawford just puts his foot on the ball. There's going to be a sub as well for Chicago City Dutch Lions. I think that's Reese Krushke who we'll be seeing come back in. Zabirov trying to run this down. Vimmer, though, got there first. Kanzak. Back for Crawford. Cardano long. Easy takeaway there by Tercios. He's going to be subbed off, we believe. And let's see if he can get one final involvement. Reich to the middle, looking for Tercios. Tercios still there. And now it's cleared. And the offside flag is up. And we're going to see all these subs. And so it's going to be Andres Rocha for Daryl Tercios, we believe, and then Christian Volland making his summer debut, but we're not sure for who yet. It's going to be a defensive change, and it's going to be Rafa Santos, it looks like, coming off as he gives the armband to Vimmer, and Kanzak shifts to right back. Oh, so Kanzak's gone. Hold on here. Kanzak has gone off, not Tercios. So Kanzak is off, and Santos is off. Riedel has gone to right back, so. And we'll worry about the Chicago City Dutch Lions changes in a second here. I wanted to make sure we got those right, so let's. Long ball is brought down by Volland, who's wearing 8. Former North Park center back. Substitutions for Edgewater Castle. Leaving the match, number 21, Rafa Santos, and number 28, Nicholas Kanzak. Entering the match, number 10, Andres Rocha, and number 8, Christian Volland. That's a foul. So Vidar Riedel has stepped back to right back. Roca has gone into midfield. And Reich has moved forward into the front line. Here in the 75th minute, 6-0 Rooks, 2 for Lawal, 1 for Abdullah, 1 for Camille, 1 for Riedel, and 1 for Reich. Aiden Crawford sending this long, as that's headed out of play by Marlon Garcia. Here goes Cardano. Martinez on his heels. Miranda. Abdullah. Tercios turning. Was he fouled? No. Substitutions for Chicago City Dutch Lions leaving the match. Number 17, Peter Blankson, and number 23, Isaac Job. Entering the match, number 9, Reese Krushke, and number 18, Joey Aragoni. That's poked away, but into the path of Aragoni. Running here at Volland. As I mentioned, making his summer debut for Edgewater Castle. Did play with the team last year. Volland Norwegian by birth. And an absolute tank of a player. 59 games over 4 years for the Vikings of North Park. And only played 2 games his graduate season before he got hurt. So gives you a sense of how much he was playing those other 3 years. Trying to get to the end line there is Itabello. Sliding challenge by Vimmer, kept the ball in. Cardano plays it out for a throw. Subs coming for Chicago City Dutch Lions. Vimmer got a foot in. And that is a throw for the Rooks. And here come 2 more subs for the visitors. It'll be Santos and Zabarov coming out. And so we'll see who's come in for them. I assume it's going to be Zagora and Thompson, but we'll double check that. It's just the players we haven't seen in the longest. So Thompson is in midfield. And it's number 8, Christian Garcia, who's the other sub. Substitutions for Chicago City Dutch Lions leaving the match, number 11, Islam Zabirov, and number 3, Jason Santos. Entering the match, number 8, Christian Garcia, and number 7, Ian Thompson. Tercios. Long ball to the far side. Gino Miranda. Miranda head down toward the penalty area, slipping it in behind. Rui Reich. Rui Reich. Saved by Villalba. Not cleared yet, the danger. Miranda on the volley. That's so off target, it's going to be a throw-in. Fans, a reminder to visit our Castle Florist Helpful Hummingbird at the vendor market to purchase special Acorns Day carnations. Hold on to those until the end of the match so you can shower our players with flowers. Just over 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go, although we just saw no stoppage time for a first half that included 4 goals. I doubt we're going to see any for a second half that's seen 2 more. Trying to push forward is Krushke. Rooks win it back yet again. Edgewater preparing a couple more late changes. And we'll see those subs now. It's going to be Miranda departing along with Lawal. And so we've got a number 17 into the match. And is one of the players. And Murtada Camille looks like he's coming back in. So Camille's back on. Toby Vimmer's gone. Well, hold on here. I got to check who's all gone off. Gina Miranda went over just to get a drink, it looks like. He's still on the pitch. Vimmer has gone off. And Lawal has gone off. So we've got Abdullah dropping in as center back alongside Volland. And we've got Camille back in for Lawal. And so we're trying to figure out who 17 is. Down the line here, head up Aragoni. Abdullah over to cover, and he will. Oh, we got pushing and shoving as Abdullah went into the padding behind and then didn't like that. Aragoni, and the ref's going to call, I think, at least Abdullah over. David Belasse is the new player for the Rooks, and I believe that is another debutant, our second of the day. And a yellow card to both Abdullah and Aragoni. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 82nd minute to Chicago City Dutch Lions number 18, Joey Aragoni, and to Edgewater Castle number 6, Amir Abdullah. It's going to be a corner for Dutch Lions out of all of this. Outswinger by Martinez, headed way up and over off the power lines and into the parking lot. And we've got another foul here, and this time it's Reich who's down, and a yellow card is shown to Itabello. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 84th minute to Chicago City Dutch Lions number 10, Faustine Itabello. And some further discussion here. And the ref still wants to sort a few things out. David Belasse is a Elmhurst University student, class of 2028. So some quick math tells me he is a rising college sophomore. So another new debutant today. It's been a fun day for Edgewater Castle. Lots of goals, couple new players. And they are really headed in the right direction, this Rooks team, at this point in the summer. Again, it'd be pretty tough to still get promoted. They'd likely have to win out and get some help, but it's not impossible. And the Rooks right now are playing like a team who could challenge the likes of Rockford FC and RKC Third Coast. Rui Reich back here for Roca. Camille couldn't quite gather in that one. Lalo Aguilera's out there now too, so there was another sub made at some point, and hard challenge in there on number 10, Itabello by Tercios. That's some retribution. Safe to say the referee has a bit lost control of this match. So we'll see if we can figure out who Lalo Aguilera came in for. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 85th minute to Edgewater Castle number 23, Daryl Tercios. So Lalo Aguilera being out here on the near sideline. This ball is sent long and easily caught by Crawford. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, replacing number 16, Gino Miranda, is number 14, Lalo Aguilera. Time ticking down here, 4 minutes to go, in a comfortable 6-0 victory for the Rooks, who will go over 500 for the first time this season with the victory. Rui Reich, who at present looks like he's going to go the full 90. Along with Cardano and Abdullah. Cut to the middle, trying to turn Lalo Aguilera up and over the top. Defended there by Marlon Garcia. Again, women's game scheduled to kick off at 4 p.m. So we'll have about an hour break in between our games here. Good pressure there by Balassi. Krushke. Aragoni. Excuse me, that's Christian Garcia forced backwards. Krushke again. Dutch Lions in search of consolation. Krushke, watched here by Balassi, and free kick. So a set piece opportunity. Really haven't seen any of these today outside of a corner kick or two for the visitors. Can they cash in here late in this one? Lining this up, Reese Krushke sends it in, easily caught by Crawford. Crawford straight up in the air, wants the ref to blow the whistle for someone getting his way. He was looking to send Camille. Balassi on, Roca. Roca sending it through for Murtada Camille. Camille is cut down. Sandoval is going to be the latest recipient of a yellow card. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 89th minute to Chicago City Dutch Lions number 2, Gustavo Sandoval. Swung in. Flicked on, Villalba got in the way and made the save. Referee's going to call a free kick for a foul by, I believe, Abdullah. Got green carnations today for Acorns Day rather than the usual blue. Being handed out in the crowd. Andres Roca. Tercios. Straight through again. Camille has Reich in the middle. Rui Reich Save, no, it trickles in. And for the second time today, it's Camille de Reich to cap off a beautiful day of soccer for the Rooks. Goal for the Rooks, his second of the match, scored by number 29, Rui Reich. The assist, his second of the day. Also to Reich earlier, number 9, Murtada Camille. And that's full time here at Loyola Soccer Park at Hoyne Fields. A dominant display for Edgewater Castle. 7-0 the final score here today, matching their club record win in the State Cup from midweek. That's 14 scored and none conceded in their last 2 matches. Not a bad week for the Edgewater Castle men, who improved to 3-2-1 on the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference Division 2 season. That's going to do it for this broadcast of Edgewater Castle Soccer, but again, we're going to have a new stream link up shortly for the women's match against Crystal Lake Forest, first and second in UWS Midwest, squaring off that game set to kick at 4 p.m. But for now, for our entire Edgewater Castle FC crew, I'm Alex Campbell saying so long from Loyola. Big win for the Rooks, 7-0, and we'll see you later for doubleheader part 2 on Acorns Day.
I'm so sick and tired of the Photoshop. Something natural and Escobar.
Fans, the final score, Chicago City Dutch Lions 0, your Edgewater Castle FC Rooks 7. This is the Edgewater Castle men's team's largest ever victory in the Midwest Premier League.
This they break me by the AV on the TED Talk. Watch my soul speak, you let the meds talk. If I kill it, it will be the alcohol. I'm the realest, after all. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Tell them sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
Oh, awesome.
Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
No time out. Hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way.
Is that right now?
Yeah. You either win me or against me, though. You either win me or win. Win, 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 win. Curve everything else.
Also, please stick around for the second game of our Acorns Day doubleheader as the women's first team takes on Crystal Lake Forest right here at Hoyne Field. That match kicking off at 4 p.m.